It is July 1st, and cup of glow to you this morning. You know, in the morning, I'm not always real perky, like physically perky. And my hair's kind of frou-frou, but I, I am bright mentally. It's probably my most alive and well time in my mind because my night is generally just full of dreams, insights. I rest. I don't sleep full on, so many hours, but I sleep a couple of hours and I wake up and I think about and then I drift off and I rest. And it's a really, actually, it's a really cool time. It's a time for me to get real clear on a lot of things. Helps me to, think about the day before, think about what's coming up. And it seems like when it's real quiet, then I can just lay there and and think about stuff without everybody just wah, 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 opinions, which are great and helpful, but that's all they are. It's great and helpful. And then ultimately, you have a decision to make about your day. So, did you have some memories? Did you walk down memory lane yesterday? I went to my reunion, my 40th reunion. Wow, that was a blast from the past. Most reunions, I've heard people say, oh, not the reunion. Oh, I don't do that. Um, and I went and I did that. And I have a beautiful graduating class, quite large. Um, but and I was always friends with I had a few friends, dear as can be friends, but most of my friends were people, let me get situated here, were for people from from a grade older than I was. And so I wasn't tight, as you would say, with the people in my class, but I have great admiration and appreciation for them. And concern it with their lives. Many have lost fathers, mothers, children, spouses, and we had lost some of our classmates as well. So it's really nice to honor that past. And the card that we pulled yesterday was so helpful for me, in that um, it asks us to focus on the good memories. And my teenage years were not happy. They were not happy. They were not happy. So it was really good for me to have that card of a thought to focus on the good memories, because it did help me as I moved through that reunion. So fun to see the beautiful people, those who took charge, those who prepared. We all have something great about us. And I really recognized that as I walked through the groups of people and listened to their stories. And, um, you know, when you come from a small community, it's pretty tight. Everybody pretty much knows what everybody does, their story. You hear it for years, it rolls on and on. When someone changes their story, all ears are up and all eyes are open, but not everybody has something to say unless they're in their little tight group. And then they have everything to say. So it was a little uncomfortable for me because my changes have been dramatic. And um, I was a good kid. I really was a good kid. I didn't do anything wrong when I was young. I towed the line. Like probably now's probably as my mischievous years. Okay. But my changes in my life was that I went from religious to spiritual. Now there's a big difference. Religion is group oriented. It's a congregated group of people that follow a certain thing religiously. Very strict, very followed, very the course. Blah 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 blah. I'm grateful. I loved my course. I followed it, and I did the deal. I did the deal. And I can say with 100% heart that I loved it when I was in it. And then I had my near death experience, and I had a different experience, different than what I was taught. And at that point, I went from religious to spiritual. And spiritual is a way of being. Nobody gets to tell you what that is. It's just between you and your maker. And it's being full of spirit, which we all are. We all are full of spirit. We're a body with spirit inside. And the two come together and work through our story, make a story out of the life that we're given. And so from that point forward, I embraced my spiritual journey, even though I would have thought that that's what I was doing prior, but it was more following instructions and having spiritual experiences, which were good, wonderful, great, until they weren't, right? And then my experience had to change. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the friends, the people, the past, the memories that I had. And I was really glad that I pulled the memory card yesterday. Even a few of my class members said that they had watched my Soulful Guild. Even one said, Soulful Guild? What is that anyway? So if you haven't heard me say it before, to be soulful is full of soul. What makes your soul sing? What makes you tick? It's your essence. It's the combination of your body and your spirit together, working together at their best and highest. Okay, so soulful. Then guild. If you look up the word guild, is a group, a group that hangs together. A guild. It's more of a Scottish Irish word, but that's kind of my background, my heritage, and so if you are someone who follows the Soulful Guild, you are friends follow soulful thoughts or are tuned into soulful moments. So that's what the Soulful Guild is. So if that person is out there watching, maybe they have a different, better understanding. Okay, so also I realized as I left the reunion that I left alone. And, some of us in life are embraced and have family, grandkids, children, groups, blah, 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 people that you work with. And I've had love, certainly, have had love, had family. I have three beautiful children. And I have known love. I've known a lot of those stories, but I walk alone today. I'm not totally alone. I have friends. I have beautiful maybe soul family, people who are like-minded. But at the end of the day, when I get in my car, I get in alone. And, I think a lot of us fit into that category. And maybe even if we're with someone, we can often feel very lonely inside. So I want to speak to that person today because it's such a yucky feeling. Driving away, being alone, and wondering, what the heck? What the heck? What's the purpose? Sometimes we have to create a purpose every day. And so my thoughts were kind of on that as I pulled the card today. So, by the way, grab your cup of glow, get it filled up this morning. Tea, coffee, hot chocolate, lemonade. It's summer, fresh, orange juice, whatever. Refresh yourself and let's chat. All right. So, my thoughts on my state of being and prayers for guidance to find a message that I could share. And I decided to use, because it's July 1st, the magical month of summer. It is the magical month. I mean, there's fireworks all, if we were aliens, if we were from outer space looking down, we would just almost every day see these little bursts of color and decoration coming off of our planet. And, if you didn't know what that was, what would you think? What would you think? Look at that magical planet down there. There's stuff happening. Stuff happening. It happens at night. Go out and look. Look, watch. Can you imagine what if there is someone out there watching, what they must think? So I got my little deck that is called Magical Times Empowerment Cards. And I want to say the name of this gal, Jody Bergsma. I may have said that wrong, and I do apologize. Beautiful card deck full of dragon-like characters. They have wings. Maybe they're angels. I don't know. Maybe they're insect people. It's a magical deck, so it's kind of created with excitement and whimsical art, and it's kind of fun. So anyway, that's the deck I chose because of the month of July and the celebratory energy that comes from that month. And I shuffled and shuffled and pulled a card. And the card that I pulled, really beautiful, white, little white dragon being held by this gal, and it's called Dreamer. The main word of the card is Dreamer. And it says, and she's holding this little loved one, this little white dragon, so close to her heart. And it's also covering her throat chakra, almost as though it it's in front of her truth, okay? In front of the things that she feels. And the card says, your dreams have chosen you. Find fulfillment in pursuing your destiny. This is the magic of life. So, interesting. How befitting as I drove away last night from my reunion, feeling like, happy to see people, but like kind of a zero. Like, I need to have some dreams come true. I need to have some fulfillment. I need to have, believe me, I mean, I have had fulfillment and I've had experiences, but most of my thoughts are, wow, what happened to my dreams? I'm living a whole different story than I imagined, and maybe that is what my maker had in mind for me. Maybe that is what I had contracted. And obviously, it's what I've created. Okay? But what else do I want to create? And that is what dreams are all about. Dreams are the imagination at work, mostly mindlessly, when we're not thinking or overthinking, and dreaming about things that we would love to be, have, or do. Okay? Let me read you the little caption here on Dreamer. All right. It says, today I will take the time for the dream in me. What is the dream in you? I will remember that my dreams have a purpose and were given to me for a reason. I will not be misled by the opinions, you know, what they say about that, opinions and doubts of others, for this is my journey, and only I can know the way. Boy, if that's not such a true statement. This is your journey. You come in alone, someone helps you in, and you go out alone, someone helps you out. But it is your journey, it is your story. How about doing something that you want in your story? Wouldn't that be a thought? My gosh. I will focus on taking tiny steps towards my dreams and I will never give up. I loved that card because maybe maybe I need to dream. Maybe I don't have enough dreams going on. Maybe my mind has been so full of everybody else's ideas and my legs have been spinning in the direction of everybody else's opinions and thoughts that I haven't really spent a lot of energy or time in my dreams. Maybe I need to create some. Let me give you an example. So, last night at the reunion, at the very end, one of our friends at the end went up with his guitar and his wife and he sang a song. Now, I think that takes guts. First, let's just say straight up to get up in front of 100 people, if not more, and sing is very vulnerable and play the guitar at the same time. I don't know if in if this was something that this person learned after school, after he graduated in the last 40 years, or if he always played the guitar and no one knew. But I didn't know that he played the guitar and sang. I don't remember him in any of the singing classes that and I was in. Um, but, maybe that was one of his dreams. And he sang a really cool song from Bob Dylan, Forever Young, reminding us to stay forever young. And oh my goodness, it was so awesome. It was so awesome to just listen to him up there on stage singing with his wife. And I thought, wow, now that's a dream that was probably floating in his mind somewhere, that he would be able to share his talent with someone someday. And he did. He did amongst his peers. I mean, that's the scary thing. Peers from high school years, that's the scariest thing of all, right? Because mostly we have the memories of the old, and that's not what most of us are. Maybe a little bit, but we all have grown up, hopefully. But wow, that was super cool. And it reminded me that I used to sing. I used to sing. Oh my gosh, I used to sing. I don't even turn on the radio in the car. I just want quiet. I used to sing publicly, and I remember I sang at our graduation. And I had forgotten that until he got up there on the stage and played guitar and sang last night. So it inspired me to revisit some of my dreams. So I don't think this card is about your dreams at night, though if you want to make it about that, you can. But it's about that dream inside of you that hasn't been given birth to, that hasn't been able to have any more incubation than just this little teeny seed that's inside of you. It's time to water that seed. And maybe you assign your body as the gardener. And you cultivate and take care of that seed and start living some of the dreams, that some of the seeds that are inside of you, inside of your heart, some of your voice seeds that have not been spoken, truths that have not been spoken, and do it so with courage, with self-love, with self-respect, without fear or consideration of anyone else's opinions or focus. I think that would be super awesome for us to do. So I'm going to encourage you as I encourage myself. And like I say, when I do this reading, this was a challenge for me to do. A friend of mine says, "When are you going to do that? When are you going to follow through with some of your stuff that you say you'd like to do?" Well, I'm doing it. And I don't know if anybody, I see a few people listening, and some days there's a few, and some days there's less, and some days there's more. I would love it to grow. That's one of my dreams, because that would mean that it feels um, like it's valid information, and that I'm doing something that might be helping someone else in a day. That's my dream. That's my desire. Um, but when I get up in the morning and I think that I have to, it's real easy to have my thoughts by myself, but then to share them with somebody and not even know if anybody will listen. It's like kind of like talking into the wind when you go online, right? You talk into the wind and you don't know if anybody listens. So if you are listening, let's plant. Let's not. They're already planted. Let's cultivate, water, nurture some of our seeds of dreams in us that we may be hoping for. Maybe pick up that guitar. Maybe pick up the pen. Maybe go on that trip. Maybe even just say hello. Maybe speaking to someone is your challenge in life. Who knows what your dream is? Maybe just, I'll tell you, one of my dreams is having bare shoulders. Oh, my whole life it's been about wearing layers and layers of clothes and covering up your body. And I'm not, like, I don't want to throw my body out there, but dang it, I'm tired of being hot. And, I've always run on the top end of overweight, and my arms have not been those sleek, beautiful, thin arms that show up on those sleek, thin girls. And so I was always hiding my arms or legs. And when summertime comes, I uh, I just have always thought, oh, I just wish I could. I wish I could wear short sleeves. And doggone it, I'm doing it. And you know what? I don't know why I haven't done it forever. Craziness to let other people decide what we do and how we do it. But that's okay. That's your journey. That's your path. Those are your choices. We all have them. That's one of my dreams. So I'm challenging you to live out one of your dreams, or at least put it out there on the table in front of you. Look at it, take a bite, the plate around a little bit, decide if it's really your dream, and have an experience. Have an experience and live a little bit of your life so that you can have a story to tell. After all, that is what this life is about. It's a gift to you. It is for you. It is for your creation. It is for you to gain experience. So, how about gaining some experience? Have some fun. Have a dream. Carry it out. Uncover that throat chakra, that voice that needs to be heard, and do it for you. Okay? Do it for you. There might not be anybody else. Who cares who's involved? That doesn't matter. It's not about them, it's about you. That's not a selfish thing, it's mandatory. Okay? Live your dream. Take a moment, refresh, get some thoughts, glow a little bit inside with me and with you. Cup of glow to you. Beautiful day. We're going to travel through July together every day. Hope you have a good one.